Hello everyone. In this video, let's continue to learn how to code expert advisors. We have learned how to open a chart automatically and how to add indicators automatically in our previous videos. And in this video, we will learn some new APIs. And these APIs will help us to subscribe the streaming quotes and get the ask and bid values from the streaming quotes. Okay, let's start learning. The first API is getQuotes. It will subscribe the streaming quotes, and we can create a chart by using getChart handle, right? But we cannot get the streaming quotes even after we have called getChart handle. So if we want to get streaming quotes, we need to call this API. We must call this API. And the name is a little bit confusing. Actually, this API has no return value. So please note, this API has no return value. We don't need to store the return value to some variable, okay? Just before we get the streaming quotes, and we need to call this API once in the init function. The second API we will learn is getAsk API. This API will help us get the ask value from the streaming quotes. And the third API we will learn is this one, getBid function. This function will return the bid value from the streaming quotes. And the getAsk and getBid APIs can just be used in onTick function. So we cannot use both of the functions in init function or in deinit function. We just can use them in onTick function. Okay, so this is a very important rule. And another point is between the callback functions, variables are not able to be shared. That means if we want to use some handle or some very important information such as broker name, account ID, or symbol name, we need to use window object to store the values. Because just a window object can be shared between the three callback functions. So we store the return value into the window object and get the value from the window object in other callback functions. Okay, so please remember this very important rule as well. And this EA will do this kind of operation. It will subscribe a streaming quotes and then get the latest ask and bid values from the streaming quotes, and then get the average value from the quotes. Okay, so the logic is very simple. Let's see how it works. We need to copy the source code and then we run it. it in our console panel. It's done. And then we can find it in our EA list. And then we run it. Now you can see the average value the average values have been shown here. Okay, so the logic is correct. Okay, we can stop it. Okay, so the logic is correct, and it's done successfully. Hopefully this tutorial video can help you to trade better. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.